All right, we are back talking NASCAR Cup Series action live from Daytona International Speedway with Eric Smith. The Daytona 500 is right now a little bit more than 24 hours away. How's it going, Eric? It looks like it's a little overcast.
It's a little overcast, a little chilly. Cold front came through to make it a blistering 68.
Oh, that's perfect.
It was 81 yesterday. So for this Indiana guy here that left, it was 16 degrees. So I'm happy with the we'll say the 60s. I'll even take this. So it's perfect. But I wish it were saying 24 hours away from a race, tomorrow, because this would be perfect. It's supposed to be sunny and 72 tomorrow.
Great.
So,
can't wait.
So far, that R word does not look like to be a factor.
Awesome.
Finally.
Yes.
Finally, we can get the race completed on time.
All right, so we're going to try to recap as much as possible that's happened over the last few days. We're going to preview the 500. We'll get your picks and all that other stuff. And also, just want to remind everybody, and we're going to keep reminding everybody as long as we maintain these videos for free, check out our new page here, patreon.com/PrimeSN. Okay, so eventually, could be in a couple of weeks, could be within a month or two, all of these shows that we're going to be bringing you here, all of our NASCAR coverage, motorsports coverage, which is going to include IndyCar coverage, will be moved over to our Patreon page. When that happens, who knows? We'll make that decision, but this is a great opportunity for anybody that is thinking about eventually paying for the subscriptions, which are going to be as low as $5 a month. Eric is going to show you what you're going to be eventually missing out on, but we'll get to that in a little while because you're going to do some walking soon. Where are you going to walk to?
Well, we're going to go to the garage area, which is literally to my left over here. The track's right behind that, so we'll give you a behind-the-scenes tour. We figured we're not going to charge you for it yet. Let's show you. We're not going to be all talk. We'll actually show you what you can get. Yeah. So, and like we said in the videos prior in the off season, that you can make requests, what you want to see, where you want me to go. You'll have a direct email access straight to me during the week to tell me, so I can have some time to obviously playing for a track like this, 2.5 miles in length. I'd want to be sure I can get where I can go to get you and not have a 30-minute video of me just driving to.
No, that wouldn't be fun.
That would not be good. So yeah, we'll give you some behind-the-scenes access here in a little bit.
And by the way, that's going to include the Indianapolis 500.
100%. Yeah.
So we're going to have both the Daytona 500 and the Indianapolis 500 on site. So
the 2 Super Bowls. So yep,
that's right.
We'll give it to you behind the scenes. So
yep.
Where else can you get that?
All right. So what has taken place? First, you had the duels came first before the truck race, correct?
Correct. That was Thursday night truck. Well, we had 2 practices Tuesday, qualifying only on Wednesday, the 2 duels on Thursday, and then we had 1 practice each of the last 2 days, and now we're done. Now the cars are getting kind of massaged over here, and then they'll tuck them away for the night, and then the race tomorrow.
Okay, so as far as the duels, we had Keselowski and Buescher.
Yeah.
my 2 fantasy drivers.
Yeah, your boys.
Yeah. Teamed up to win both duels. And explain to me what was on Joey Logano's mind, please. What was he thinking of?
He was, in his defense, again, he just kind of threw away a card, but a lot of people didn't realize from the duels that if guys had teammates in the first duel, and they were like 1 or 2 cars in the second, and the first duel, which obviously went caution-free, nobody got torn up, they gave him the green light to race. Like, all right, well,
why? Because they had extra cars.
We had extra car. You'd get the extra car. Well, Logano's teammates were all in the first duel, so if anything happened like it did, he gets the extra car. So, with that said, he was just trying to judge the blocking, the closing rate. It was a good practice for Sunday. I mean, because nobody really was doing much of anything to even know how you're going to be. So he took a chance, took a risk, and it wadded him up. But I would say at least the car it did its job. It wasn't too badly damaged because they said they've already pretty much got it fixed. So it's ready to go out west. So yeah, the guys are taking a tame in the first duel, get through that. That's why the second duel, it's a little more side by side. And Buescher made a comment that once Keselowski won, he was told, "Hey, we don't need a backup car now. It's on you. Go try to win. Go ahead and put yourself in position." So that's why it was kind of a tale of 2 different duels, and people putting themselves on the line more in that second duel than the other.
What did we learn as far as does Ford? Is that where we were kind of lean towards it now? Is that like the car to beat?
Right now, on paper, yes. They've won every session. They went swept the top 5 in practice, the first one Tuesday, 1 through 10, the one after. Yesterday they were 1 through 6, and then this morning they were 1 through 5 again. Swept the duels. So I would say right now on paper they're the favorites, but Chevy, again, bar none, the best qualifying team. Hendrick's starting on the front row. They locked it out. Can they do something with it? Right now, I'd say on paper, it's just said the Fords, but the Toyotas also didn't practice at all this final practice because they feel like they have something. So it's kind of their mic drop moment, but do they really have something, or are the Fords just that good? But right now, I think it's hard to ignore the Fords. It'd be kind of foolish to say, oh, I'm going to pick somebody outside the Ford camp when they just dominated everything so far.
Okay. And anything else did we learn? Of course, the truck race is a different series, and we had an unfortunate way to end the race because we had the whole red flag thing. It looked like Smith was going to win it. He doesn't win it by a fraction of a second. And then we basically have to wait another 20 minutes just to have him win anyway. And then it's under caution. And you understand why it's under caution, because that's the only part of the racetrack that really can screw you with the caution is when you just pass the finish line for the final time. If there's an accident, you know that they're going to have to call the caution, and you can't blame them for it either. So it is
the
what
only
it
way
is.
I think that thing went green is if maybe that wreck occurred in turn 1 or 2, which is giving them more time to slow down. But it occurred right outside the tri-oval. There's oil on the track. It's like there's no way.
Yeah.
So luckily, the guy that kind of got screwed, I thought, when is NASCAR on the trigger that quick? I mean, those cars already crossed the line.
Yeah.
And the dude he did it right. The lights, I saw the still frames. It was yellow. Granted, the flag, I mean, it was all such a blink of the eye. The flagman had the white. The cars are already crossed, but the yellow light was on before they got there. So, don't know why he was on the trigger. It's like he was waiting. It's like that was his moment. Like, yes, right. The trigger. So, but yeah, it worked out. The guy that was leading ended up winning. So, good for him.
How was the attendance? Because it looked like
great.
It was good.
It was really good. The duels and the trucks, they said, are the biggest crowds in years down here for those races. And it was. Usually you could see it kind of scarce as you get, which is natural. Getting towards turn 4 and turn 1, it's not as many people, but it was filling in. So I'm curious what the Xfinity race is going to look like today, because it's always been a decent crowd. So with the weather being good, sold out Daytona 500, I'm curious what it's going to look like.
Yeah, and what are we going to find out about the Xfinity race today? It's what's on the line as far as, I mean, do we have anybody from the Cup Series in this race?
I haven't looked at well, actually, let me see. I think I have it right here. If I grabbed it. Yeah. I'm looking through the lineup right now. They're qualifying right now, so I'm looking at practice, and I don't see anybody. No, nobody from the Cup is running the Xfinity race. So, true Xfinity race this time.
Okay. And who's and
you're probably not going to learn a whole lot from it, anyways. Another thing I did gather to counter that point too is I feel like the next gen cars, a lot of drivers are saying, it's gonna race a lot differently than we've seen lately. You can lose the draft quicker. The side draft, you're not going to see cars. You know, they had the conga line basically up top, and they just go single file for lap after lap after lap. You can't do that this year.
Good.
Because that side draft that they use from the wall, the air pocket, it's not there anymore. And these cars are sketchier to drive in the corner. So a lot of drivers are talking about, you might see a Daytona 500, what it looked like in the 90s or early 2000s. You might not see the big 30, 35 car group. It might be manufacturer separated, and pit stops are going to be crucial. And when you pit, how you pit, can you come off pit road, form together? It's going to be a strategy race, I feel like, more than it has been in recent years when you just have 30, 35 guys just in one big group, all race and chaos happening. I think the chaos will happen later in the race.
Okay. And I'm okay with that as far as...
I am too.
I don't want to see 10 cars and like 8 of them are long shots.
Yeah, and I don't like to see lap 13, like last year, you have 20 cars taken out already, and then it's like, well, what the hell's the point of that? I'm watching a 500-mile race with 20 cars in it. So I think if you do see incidents, it's going to be people losing it in a little mini pack of themselves. But it's not, I don't think you're going to see the big ones unless they're end of stages or into the race. I think you're going to see this car's harder to drive, which it should be. Cup cars should be hard to drive. Speeds are slower, but they're harder to drive, so I do like that.
And what about the cars look nice.
They do. I could say in person, I don't notice the numbers move forward as much as it does when they're just sitting idle. When they're going by you, some cars did it good where they kind of manipulated the paint scheme and the sponsor with the number pushed forward to where you really don't notice it. It's not pushed forward as much. And some, I feel like Denny Hamlin, some of those guys with it just says like FedEx or the sponsor on the door, you do notice that, but you really don't notice it, especially at speed, that the numbers push forward. The noise sounds different, more of a rumble. It looks good. They look smaller, so I like it. Different than I expected, I'd say.
Okay, now as far as the race, the big race tomorrow, Denny Hamlin, is he the favorite? Because he seems to be the favorite at this racetrack over the last several years. Is he the one to beat?
Coming into this, honestly, right now I'd say no. And so, well, I still think the Fords. What concerns me about him by himself, and I don't know how much they were trying to work on taking care of their cars. I just haven't seen a lot of the Toyota camps so far. That's made me think these are the guys to beat. But in saying that, they could be the guys to beat because they're purposely doing that. The Chevys with the qualifier and the Fords with everything else have just stole the show. So sometimes those under-radar guys come through there. But as Denny noted, his advantage, he feels like it's gone right now because his car is going to race differently. All of his wins came with that Gen 6 car. He knew how to manipulate the air. He knew how to manipulate it against the wall. He knew how to work the car in the air against everybody else. He doesn't know that right now. They haven't really taken place in a true big drafting session. Everything's going to change tomorrow. Now, granted, could some of that tricks he learned work with the next-gen car? Absolutely. We just don't know that yet. So his advantage was with the Gen 6, and I haven't seen everything out of him that I want to yet. So right now I'd say with him being the overall odds favorite, I'd
stay away.
For the numbers, I'd put some money on him, but I would say right now there's other options you could probably go with.
All right. So give us some of those options.
I like Logano. I feel like he's always in the mix here. He was leading the duel when he wrecked. He won the Clash. Granted, wasn't here, but this next-gen car seems to suit him so far. I just have a good feeling about Blaney. I picked him before even coming down here. I thought Blaney, just something about him. I just feel like this might be his year to win the Daytona 500. Harvick's always intriguing. He used to not do. He did well, and then he went several years with never doing well. And then the last 2 years, he's got 2 top 5s in a row. And it seems like their strategy has been, let's ride in the back and be there in the end. So if they do that again, he's there. I just feel like for the number, last I looked yesterday, he was like 18-1, 19-1. He opened 28-1. So I like those Fords. I'm not real sold on Austin Cindric, the other Penske guy's rookie. Kozlowski and Buescher, I feel like could be sleepers, but only 5 times since 1996 has the dual winners won the Daytona 500. It's only happened once in the last 17 years, so is it really going to happen to a team that's not won a points race since 2017? So I'm struggling with them, but I'd say right now the Ford camp, Blaney, Logano, Harvick would be my top 3 that I would go with. And even Eric Almirola as a sleeper, he just kept talking about how good his car is and how comfortable he is. And the only reason he didn't show much in the duels is he said his backup car is literally his Fontana car. He goes, I couldn't race because if I wrecked, then my Fontana car is racing. So he said this Daytona 500 car is good. So if I had to pick the favorites in a sleeper, those are my favorites in a sleeper right there, right now.
All right. So and how about the Chevys? Who do you like as far as
honestly,
the Chevys?
I probably Chase Elliott out of that camp. Maybe you get a sleeper like an Austin Dillon. Some trends aren't going well for them. They've swept the front row. This is like the 8th time. They haven't won the Daytona 500 since 2014. And once
Hendrick?
Qualifying, yeah. And then once this, they've won 7 of the last 8 poles, but they've never won the Daytona 500 in this last 8 years. The pole winner has only won, hasn't won in 22 years. The last top 5 was 2002. Kyle Larson's on the pole, and he's 0 for 29 in top 5s in super speedway. So Plus, the defending champion has only won the Daytona 500 the next year 5 times, and only 2 times since 1978. So those numbers scare me for Larson.
Okay.
And then the second place starter is Bowman, and he's been on the front row 5 straight years and hasn't really had a top 5 to show for it in the 500. 4 times since 1996. Haven't even finished in the top 5. The second place starter, the last one in 1993. So I'm not real sold on those two. That's why I kind of aired towards Chase Elliott. He finished second last year. He doesn't follow those trends. He actually, we'll go through the rest of the trends here in a minute. He follows a trend for a winner on Sunday. So at a Chevy camp, I'd say him, and I like the Trackhouse guys as sleepers. I feel like they're just kind of showing something right now. They didn't practice this final practice because they feel they're good right now. So I'd say Chase Elliott is my favorite Chevy, and the Trackhouse guys is my sleepers at a Chevy camp.
What are their odds?
Gosh, I don't have it. They were long. Suarez and Chastain.
Okay, so I have Suarez at 60 and Chastain at 50.
Yeah, I thought they were 50 to 1 and worse. So I'd say those are 2 good sleepers for the Chevy
those
camp.
are your like Mike McDowell sleepers.
Yes, those are the guys you might look up and like should have looked at them. So I like those are the long shots.
And now, so Gralla gets in.
Yep.
And that means that Mr. Merriweather gets his first race on Sunday.
Yep. You're going to have Floyd Mayweather, Michael Jordan, Pitbull all in one spot at a NASCAR race on Sunday. And Jacques Villeneuve, a Formula One world champion, Indy 500 winner, also in that field. It's like, so it's going to be a very odd mix of who's who. As well as, like, what if somebody told you 5 years ago this was going to happen? You'd be like, what?
Yeah, right.
Michael Jordan, Pitbull, and Floyd Mayweather? But, yeah, they're in the race. They made it. It was an interesting scenario how to help them make it in the duel, but they're in.
Okay, so do you have any other important trends to share? And, by the way, these trends that you've been talking about are up on your website already. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep, they were up this morning, so they're there.
That's racereviewonline.net, so check
correct.
that out.
And we talked the poll. Yeah, we talked the second place, talked the duels, the defending champion. So the few others, 8 of 63 Daytona 500s have been won by first timers. So it's 8 of the not likely that's going to happen. It happened in like 2001, 2011, 2021. Are we going to get it? It seems like the 01s.
Okay.
So
we won't get that for another 10 years.
Yeah, so okay. I think 2031 we'll revisit this. 8 of the last 10 drivers started in the top 14 to win the Daytona 500. And I feel like with as treacherous this may be, I feel like that could very well happen. So if you take all of that and combine it, who does that leave? Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr. That's it. So you can get everything down to 6 drivers. And that's why I feel like out of those 6, I like Blaney and Elliott for your favorites. 5 of the last 6, this doesn't really driver trend, but 5 of the last 6, we saw a last lap pass to win the Daytona 500. And 3 of the last 5, the race winner only led the final lap.
That's crazy.
So can you imagine going through 109 or 200 laps, you led one of them and you won the race.
That's crazy.
So I feel like this year, though, some of these trends, we'll see. This is a new car, so we'll see if they translate over. But we can only go off those trends so far, and a lot of them feel like if you boil it down, those drivers should be the favorites. Because out of that Toyota camp, you take Hamlin away from it, those 3 are left, and that's not bad options. The fact that they're all starting together in the top 7 rows. So they can hang out together all day and be there in the end. And those are veterans. Those are veteran guys right there between Busch and Truex. So I like them as depending if you can find them at a good number tomorrow. I jump on.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're going to get good numbers because it's the Daytona 500. So no matter what, you're going to get a driver.
You could get a 15 to 18 to 1 jump all. You could bet all 3.
Even Ryan Blaney's probably not going to be any lower than 10 to 1, I would think.
No, he was I think 12 to 1 entering this weekend, and I don't think he's really shown a whole lot to change it. So I think you're going to get everybody at least 11 to 1, 12 to 1 or worse. So good odds for this race to make some money on.
All right, where are you taking us?
Here comes your boy. Here's a duel winner right here. It's Busher.
Okay.
Looks like they're coming in. I don't want to get hit by the car, so we'll move out of the way here.
All right, now who's allowed? So is this still the fan area? The fan zone? Where are we? We're in the garage area now.
We're in the garage right now. Yep.
Who's allowed back here? Just the media?
So this media or like, yeah. It's right on the other side of the fan zone. So where I was doing the video, which when I walk back out, we'll show you, the fan zone can be on the glass. I don't know if you can see it through the other side. But here's one. You can see the glass over there. Fans can come to that glass and get autographs.
Oh, that's cool.
So you got the cars here, the haulers here. So they just go from basically just across from the garage to the hauler. Trying to see if any drivers. Oh, well, here's your boy right here, Ryan Blaney. Taking pictures. I don't know if you. I can't tell how big it is on this screen. If you could see him walking up there.
Of course, he's got the yellow and the black.
Can't miss him. Yep. And here's their cars.
So
see what happened.
The fans that are standing, that are up
there.
Yeah. What is that area?
That's part of the fan zone. So they could go up behind. Harrison Burton right here.
You said the fan zone was an extra $35?
Yes.
Okay.
So the $35 gets you that fan zone, and then you can go like up on the garage, or behind the garage, or up
That's
on top.
not bad.
No, not bad at all. So there's Harrison Burton, Cindric's right here. I don't know if you can see him staying here signing autographs.
Okay. Yes.
So they come back here because you don't get bugged a lot. As you see, there's very minimal fans on this side. They're either up there or behind. And then so what they do after practice is they talk in those garage stalls for a minute, and then they'll come out, and that's why these drivers are over here. They'll go to the hauler, and then they'll do like another debrief with engineering, and then they'll come out and go to the garage over here. Oh, there's Blaney still talking to kids. Good for him. Look at him taking time with the fans. Unlike some other drivers you've seen walk through here, not even talking to anybody. But yeah, so you got all the main guys right here. And then like there's Kyle and Truex, Hamlin, the Gibbs guys.
How long, how, as far as the actual length, like how many blocks is it?
It's I'd say maybe 2.
That's not
3.
bad.
No, it's not terrible because I'm already at the end of the garage. Because I was going to show you the technical inspection tent, which is like there's Almirola's car just went through it. So they usually will take him through tech. And they almost hit people. So there's Almirola. It means they must have just passed. And then so here's tech. So this is where they go through. See the scanning station right there?
Got it.
So they go through here to be sure their cars are legal. And then they'll take them back through this way and around back to the garage. So then you know that they passed inspection. So that's how they know whether you mess with them. Yeah, there you go.
There's the 2022 Cup champ.
There's your guy. There's your pick. Yep, there's your pick. So see how they close it? So they scan it. And if anything, this is where you know whether your car is good or not. And that's where they figure if it's good now, there's absolutely no reason that it can't go over here and not be good. So that's where the penalties come down. It's like, well, you just passed here. How do you not pass here? So that's why they always try to tech them before or after practice so they know. Because obviously, if you go on the track, things can change just by running. So I'll take it to the other side because they usually there's some cars lined up over here.
When's the ARCA race?
So you got 1:30.
Oh.
Xfinity cars are qualifying right now.
Oh, okay. That's what we're hearing is the Xfinity practice, qualifying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Qualifying, yep. See, there's Bowman's car here. So they're waiting in line. There's Custer. And they're waiting in line to go that way.
So it's not really
and then
a
once
very
they come through,
easy line. It's just, you're next.
No, they just, nothing glorious. Just sitting there and, yep. So, and then I'll take one more spot. What I'll do is we'll go out to, we'll just go out to pit road.
Okay.
Let me turn my credential around here. So, you see there's Harvick's crew chief right here. Ronnie Childers walking our way in the black shirt. So it's pretty laid back here for a little while now, since there's no more practice. Nothing for these guys.
Yeah, that's what I think is great about this compared to a lot of the other sports. Is this you don't get this. This is you don't get to kind of walk past.
I'm basically in their locker room.
Yeah.
Is you're it's like you don't get that. Like you don't. I wouldn't go to the Super Bowl and walk through the Rams locker room.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Or,
no.
Like hey, you guys just had a practice on the Super Bowl field, so now now that you're done, I'm gonna walk through your locker room. Is basically what this. I mean, the garage would basically be their locker room. So yeah, it's different. And they'll let fans just stand on top like this.
That's that's awesome.
Which that gives you a view of the track over here. So that's part of the fan zone. For $35, you get that. And then behind, like outside the media center, behind, I don't know, we'd call it like a video board. And they got a video board facing that way. So people tomorrow, as part of the stadium room only, that's even sold out, can watch the race over there. So you get all this, not like there's much going on in the garage during a race, but you can stay up there and watch the race.
How's the view up there?
It's not bad. I've been up there before just to check it out a few years ago. You feel a little bit further from the track because you got all these haulers. I know you're up there, but it just feels a little bit further away. But you could see more. Maybe we'll.
So it's one of those things where you wouldn't want to be there the entire race, but it's not bad to just go up there for like 20 minutes or something.
No, yeah, because you could still see. You can still see more. You can see more because you're up higher, since it's such a big track. Maybe I'll. Here, what I can do is I'll cut through here and back out. We'll go up there for a second. So this is the pits. So this is where the drivers would pull, or the cars would pull in and out. So now we're in the pits. There's the track right there. So here comes one right now.
Perfect.
It's a 17.
And then there's the video board for Josh Flicky. That's who that is. So these Xfinity guys change cars from over the years that I don't even know who's in them until I really decipher through the list. I know that's mine. It's Sheldon Creek. So it's like stadium seating over there, and all of those seats are sold out for tomorrow.
Oh, I can imagine.
And then this down here is kind of hard to see because when all the pit boxes would be up, it'd be hard to actually see much going on out there. You'd have to just find a little area. So here's where the cars are lined up. They're qualifying right over here.
Got it.
Boyer won the 2008 NASCAR Series Championship in the number 2, driving for RCR. Tyler Reddick did it in
So there's a lot of cars over there. So these cars must have already qualified right here, is what I gathered.
In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and Ron Holiday Jr. also.
Yeah, these are probably cars that have qualified. You can see.
Trying to keep the history going with that number 2. He goes to 3rd on the board in that RCR entry.
And this is
49.486.
The big suite in the middle.
No surprise with the RCR prepared cars.
There.
The alignment with
I don't know how well it's
team,
showing up.
Buford currently number 1.
And the victory lane is right on this other side. There's the start-finish line. So there's one of the cars. So this would be pit road. Well, here comes the guy right here. I think going to pull in right in front of us. So we'll wait a second. Nope, we'll send them on. And then that's victory lane.
You guessed it. Those 4 races would be.
So they pretty much go in through that back way where I came and would drive around here and then into victory lane. So we'll do this guy going by, and then I'll walk back fan zone, the top of the garage. It's a weird Gibbs looking car. We usually have more sponsors on that one.
It's good enough for a 49.745.
When do they allow you into the track?
Move on to that second round of qualifying. Is inside
I'm not sure what time the gates open. My pass will get me in anytime I want to come in. Because I got a parking pass too that'll let me just kind of come and go. So, like an example, while I'm down here is why I'm doing this, because like see where it says the World Center Racing up there?
Yes.
Where the world is, right below it, the first row of glass, like, that's where the press box is.
Okay.
So that's where I'm usually at during the races. But being over there, it'd be hard to do the videos over here because it's so far. There's no tunnel that goes like through the middle. It's over on the two sides. So I've got a parking pass for underneath that grandstand. And I also have a parking pass for the middle over here. So I have to drive back and forth.
Okay.
So that's why I figured while I was down here, we do the video, because
Sure.
there's really not a lot to see over there that fans wouldn't already be able to see by going to the race. So at least down here, a little more different than, because you'd have to buy a ticket. So there's a stage over there for concerts and stuff for the fan zone. You'd have to buy a ticket to get in and then pay the $35 for the fan zone.
Okay.
And a lot of people just do that and sit and have their beer and watch what people watch, and then you got everybody else that usually sits over there that doesn't want to mess with it. But I do like the fan zone aspect to get people to make an event.
Yeah.
If you're going to be here all day, at least give them something to do.
Because you're around everybody.
Exactly. Even if you don't see them like up close and personal, but you see them on the other side of a wall, at least you can see them. So the fan zone to get up there, those are the steps to go up top. So we'll go.
What is the last event of the day?
The Xfinity race, which is 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you see, so
like
you can get in
5:19,
there,
right?
like right after breakfast, and
Yep.
you're there until the end of the Xfinity race, and then you go and have dinner, and I mean that's to me, I think that's a great deal.
So this is the top of that.
Oh, okay,
section.
beautiful.
So you got that over there. You can see all the way down there. And there's the back stretch all the way over. So you got a good view. You're just not real, see the cars going by? You're just not real close. But you can still see. I think I was up here, I was roaming the 2020 Xfinity race. I remember I was up here. I was like, I'm going to see what it's like this vantage point. And then I just went to a section nobody was really around, like down this direction. And it was nice. You could see all the way through 3 and 4 and see them go by. And it's just such a massive track. People I don't think realize how big it is. I mean, from all the way down there, it's all the way down there. It's just so far. But the tunnels, I don't know if I could see that kind of Sunoco sign over there outside of turn 4. It's like there's like a blue and white, or blue and yellow and red Sunoco sign. So that's one of the tunnels.
Okay.
In that direction to come to the infield. And then there's one on the opposite side of turn 1 down there. So there's really no way. It's a long walk to go back and forth. So that's why they give you the passes to drive. And then this is like the back end of the fan zone right there. So you can come through the middle, sit there, video screen.
They have places you can eat
got
there?
the track down there. Yeah, we'll go back that way, and then we can wrap it up because it'll be probably the last bit. It's back, so like you got beer and
Man, I haven't been
beverages here.
to a race in a long time, and this is just getting me excited about getting back there.
So you got to come. See, we should do next year you need to come and we'll do a live show up here. We'll sit at one of these tables.
Absolutely.
So let me see if I can get through this way. So this is the back end. You got bathrooms back here, so you got bathrooms close. Said you got beverages up there. I know there's food outside of the media center for the fan zone, so let me see where this goes. So here's the back end. Here's the windows that I was talking about that they open. There's a Ricky Bobby guy. So you can literally, here's the garage over here. Nobody's in here. I'll show you the view from the other side. So these are the windows. Like there's Alex Bowman's. They'll come. It's like a bank teller. They can come to that little box right there that opens, and they'll sign autographs.
Now, is there like a specific time that
pictures.
they'll do it, or you just have to be lucky?
Just wait. This is lucky. Just wait there. That's why a lot of people will come during practice sessions and just stand back there because they obviously get in and out of the car right there. And then the drivers see you. They usually will come and
That's
sign.
cool.
Some, I guess, will walk the other direction and act like they don't see you. But if you have like a fan shirt or a die cast or something like that, they'll come sign it. So it gives you kind of that up close and personal. I mean, for $35,
that's awesome.
That's a pretty good deal.
Great deal.
And then that's up top there where we just were. And then the other side was the garage. This is the fan zone behind it. So there's one of the pace cars. And then this table right over there is where I was doing the show at.
Oh.
And then the media center is right
We're back
here.
where we started.
We're back where we started. So this was all behind me. So you got food, drinks. I'll take you by the media center. So this entrance, right, you see it says media. The media center is in there, which is where I like this. Like, I don't like to spend a whole lot of time in there other than writing because it's like you see, it's a windowless room. I don't want to go to a racetrack. I could sit and watch it on TV at home. So on the other side of this is the media center. It's where the press conferences, all that stuff is. And then that's why I like to watch from the press box over there because you can see. And then this is all, again, within walking distance. Big concession stand, all kinds of vendors. Again, that's just on the other side of the garage here. There's your video board on this side. And it's just kind of like a carnival type atmosphere down here. And you got all this over here. There's where you can buy some souvenirs. There's where you come in at over there, that fan zone.
Okay.
And then you got another video board. You can just sit here.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise one more time. Give it up for Chris Bouchard!
Oh, and the drivers make appearances right here, it looks like.
Coming up next on the UNOH fan zone, Mr. Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace is over here.
Immediately following Mr. Wallace coming up, we have got UNOH coming up here. They're going to take this engine right here,
so here's
start it up,
stage.
And then their students from UNOH are going to disassemble it right in front of you, and then put it back together again and fire it up. It is loud, loud. It will definitely get your attention.
Again, from the garage.
They're going to do that all right up here as UNOH can show us what they can do with all their automobile accreditations, all their college courses, all offered at UNOH.
Signing autographs.
They're coming up right after. Mr. Bubba Wallace coming up in
the
just
track
a few
right
minutes.
over there. So
here on the UNOH fan zone.
Just kind of gives you a lot to do if you're going to be here all day. Which is what I've been saying. You can't expect people to stay here all day and race at 3:30 and like give them nothing to do. So at least it gives you something to do. The Xfinity garage is right there, and then the trucks are back on the other side. So kind of a little bit of everything to do. And then if you still want to sit in the grandstands, you just go out, maybe hop one of the buses. They have shuttles that take you to both sides, and then you can sit in the grandstands and watch the race. So I applaud them for everything they're doing. As you can see, it's 12:15 Eastern here. And the Xfinity race doesn't even start till 5. And there's quite a healthy crowd here already.
Yeah, well, take advantage of it. Hey, if you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have it. And then what the other cool thing is with this access down here at the fan zone, before the race, you get to go out on pit road by the cars, and the ball field is what they call it, that grass in the infield. So you can do all that too. So it's good access to have.
Well, great job. And
thank you.
We have no idea where you're going to be next. Again, we know you're going to be in Indianapolis, but
yes, now I need to go work on the schedule after this, see where I'm going to be next. So it's either this or St. Pete for the IndyCar Opener next week, but this is the Super Bowl for a reason, so I chose this one, and then we'll figure out where the next visit is. But again, we'll have a Patreon page. If people want me to go to a race and contribute, then I'll make sure I go there and get any of this access for any track. So we have this all year for NASCAR and IndyCar. So what any of the fans want, we'll bring it to you.
All right. I know you got a long couple. Now, we're going to talk to you again after the race tomorrow. So who knows when that's going to be. Probably is going to be sometime, like around 8, 9 o'clock, something like that?
Yeah, it just depends on when it's done and when I can get down, and because it'd probably be the video tomorrow will probably come from over there because I'll be in the press box. So even if I come down and do it in the stands by myself, we'll figure it out. But yeah, hey, my watch must have done a good job at it. Said I worked out. Said good job on your workout. See, you get a workout. You see by walking around.
All right, Eric, appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your time there, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Awesome, thank you. Sounds
you got
good.
it. Take care, Eric.
See ya.